God of War Ragnarok is technically the most anticipated game so far within 2022. And due to the amount of hype, Santa Monica is also coming up with more details. Not just that, we've just received a brand new trailer, which is more of a dev diary kind of thing instead of a trailer. A confirmation that the game's halfway gone gold and now releasing November 9 this year. Check it out, game's initially releasing for the PlayStation 4 and 5 only.
What mother wanted?
Well, I recognize that dour expression anywhere. Odin's got tricks up his sleeve we haven't dared to consider.
What if there was someone who could help us?
You mean Tyr, the old god of war in these lands, who is dead?
Well, for a dead man, Odin seemed pretty keen on seeing he wasn't found.
If he's out there, we gotta find him.
Come in!
What in all yarns be the happen to him?
We're trying to stop Ragnarok, to help people. And what if the only way to do that is war?
War is not the only way.
Stop thinking like a father for a moment and start thinking like a general.
No!
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you a calm and reasonable person?
In moments of crisis, panic does nothing. Harness it. Let it serve you.
Take a look outside. Did you know that they call Callisto the Dead Moon? Dead. Just like you would have been if I hadn't fished you out of that wreck.
Coming up behind that, we've got the Callisto Protocol by the same guy behind Dead Space games, Glenn Schofield, and now partnering up with the PUBG developers, and were actually originally meant to be set within the PUBG universe, but then it didn't, thank God. It's a science fiction based horror game, obviously, and set in the year 2320 and taking place on the Jupiter's moon, which is technically called Callisto, and on a prison colony. That's quite the premise, guys. Callisto Protocol is due for launch December 2nd this year, and it's on its way to all consoles and PCs too.
I just love that last part. Gives me chills every time.
Surviving a shipwreck, you begin your adventure in St. Anne, one of the pirate dens in our world. Dens are centers of pirate activity, where you can craft new ships and equipment, provision for your expeditions at sea, pick up contracts, and socialize with other players.
Moving on, we've got Skull and Bones. Well, after technically 4 more years of wait, we just came across the release date here. Well, actually, it's been 6 years since the announcement of the game. In case you are new to, it is an open-world pirate ship battling action RPG, and in the same vein as other games like Assassin's Creed Black Flag. Skull and Bones is releasing November 8th this year. Finally, it's going to be released on PCs, Xbox, and the PlayStation consoles too. To accompany the good news, Ubisoft did come out with both gameplay and cinematic trailers.
At sea, you'll need to pay close attention to the condition of your ship and the morale of your crew. Your crew are a pack of vicious raiders and rovers who will mutiny against you, if not kept well-fed and happy. If your ship sinks, you'll lose some progress and respawn at the nearest discovered den or outpost. The good news is that most of your cargo will be recovered, and you'll have the opportunity to retrieve the rest from the wreckage. But you'd better be quick, as other players can also steal it. As a pirate captain, your reputation is everything, and our game tracks this through infamy. The higher your infamy, the more opportunities you'll get. One of the many ways to grow your infamy is to take up contracts.
On the other hand, and actually Marvel's coming up with massive amounts of hype for the past month regarding, we have once again here Gotham Knights giving us a very deep look at Nightwing's, Batgirl's, and even Robin's gameplay. As previously mentioned, the game will feature co-op through its campaign. The story is set in the wake of Batman's death, featuring every character, but the game's eventually releasing October 25 this year, and it's going to be a next generation console exclusive in addition to PCs.
Got eyes on the buyer?
Yep. Here he comes.
And I got the dealer. Nino, they're heading your way. They're here.
You should have eyes on the merchandise.
I sure do.
And number 5, we have once again Saints Row's latest game, just simply Saints Row. What after months of anticipation and rumors, a lot of rumors, is now finally releasing on all platforms except Switch, August 23 this year. The game will be the first Saints Row since 2013's Saints Row 4. In case you are wondering, it'll feature a completely new cast of characters, it'll feature a co-op multiplayer section, and a heck of a lot more. This is how it actually looks.
Hey guys, what you got in the... Oh, stolen Marshall MDI-101 M9 multi-rocket shoulder launchers. Nice. My buddies and I have been looking all over town for those. Have you been hoarding? See, we need them for our startup. It's a criminal empire kind of... Go! I got you there! After him!
You should buckle up.
Kevin! fuck away from my friends.
And you could catch her and end this war.
Young Rentier, still on your father's leash, I see.
What did you see while Felicity was in your head?
Moving on, guys, this is legitimately the most anticipated IP to be released this November. Yes, Evil West actually was set to be released September this year, but it is now pushed back to even further. It is by Flying Wild Hog and Focus Entertainment, what is said to be an action RPG hack and slasher, as you could see, and now on its way to all consoles, PCs, not really Switch, and we just got a new trailer for it too, in case you missed it.
Of macabre perception. Greetings. I'm your host, Doug Bradley, and I invite you to join me as we explore Scorn's mesmerizing labyrinth of odd forms and somber tapestries.
At number 7, we have the old Scorn, currently slated for release October 21st this year. Hopefully that will not change either. It's gonna be coming to PCs and Xbox Series X only after being in development for like 200 years now. For those of you who just arrived here on Earth, Scorn is a first-person survival horror game in which all you have is some sort of a biochemical whatever as you navigate your way through this labyrinth thing, yeah, in terms of premise. Anyway, the fine folks at the company just came up with a new trailer too.
Scorn has been carefully crafted with great attention to detail. Everything is focused on building a specific atmosphere. From a unique organic ecosystem to an unsettling soundscape created by Ethek and Lustmord. Scorn has no dialogue, so most of the storytelling comes from the environment, discovering the ever-present symbiotic relationships and how things are connected equips you with the tools to progress. While there is shooting within the game, Scorn is not a shooter. Every encounter must be carefully considered. A wrong choice could be deadly. I hope you've enjoyed this glimpse into the twisted world of Scorn. The team at Ebb Software can't wait for you to uncover the secrets of this unique world as you experience Scorn firsthand this October. Are you prepared to unravel your inner self within Scorn's world?
Amicia, come! Hugo, I'm right behind you!
Glad did I live, and gladly die. And I laid me down with a will.
Focus Entertainment, about a couple of months ago, did finally come out and release some actual gameplay on A Plague Tale. Well, this is a stealth horror adventure game that's been in the making since its original came out back in 2019. Plague Tale Requiem, which is now taking place 6 months after the events of the original one, will eventually launch October 18 this year and releasing for the next generation consoles and PCs only.
I don't know what's happening to me, Lucas. I feel my mind going. I know. Think of your brother. We have to carry on. Oh
no. Access the operations array and use the cryonic rods to flush the system. Preferably before something explodes. Head on through the ventilation tunnels and look for an access point.
This way! Move it!
Coming up behind that, Games Workshop finally announced a release date for Warhammer 40k's Darktide. Well, the game was supposed to be released September 13, but it is now delayed to November 30th. It is still coming to PCs and Xbox Series X only. The game, in which case you're unfamiliar with, is technically a co-op shooter by the same folks who made all Vermintide games, so it's technically using the old formula, but then sends the player into a distant future and into the depth of a hype city.
That's the first part done. Get to the base of the Matrix bar and put those cryonic rods to work. What are you waiting for? Get it in place. Now! You finished here? Look for a way out.
I reckon it's got something to do with that girl.
It's got everything to do with that little girl.
Now, in case you haven't caught up on our last video, Naughty Dog, you see, did actually release another clip for The Last of Us Part 1 remake to make even more hype before the thing lands on the PlayStation 5 and on September 2nd this year. These are some things that was actually announced that the port will include: a native 4K resolution, some HDR support, a fast to no loading time, the DualSense wireless control and all that, a 3D audio, and a heck of a lot more. Check it out. Last of Us Part 1 remake will also be released for PCs, but at a later date.
Get in trouble down there. You make every shot count.
I got this.
Hope you know how to use that thing.
I've had some practice. You're just gonna leave me here in what, space?
Everybody lives in space, including you. All right, you're a bounty hunter now. You gotta help me rescue my friends.
Coming up behind that, I'm not really sure, but probably mentioned this one only once. We have by Justin Roiland, one of the lead creators of the show Rick and Morty, developing a AAA sort of action-adventure comedy, Metroidvania sort of first-person shooter, or at least that's how developers are describing it. Now, something called High on Life. This is how it looks. It's a Microsoft exclusive, meaning it's coming to PCs and Xbox consoles only, and it's going to be released October 25 this year.
Hey there! I'm knifey! Stab! Stab! Yes! More! More! I need more stabbing!
Everyone, fight each other!
That's the command ship!
Then we know what we have to do.
Oh, yeah!
You're with me. We're getting aboard that ship. I knew you would return one day.
It has been too long, Master. I can't do this.
Now, on the other hand, we have the sequel to Blizzard's first-person shooter, obviously Overwatch 2. The game's now on its way to consoles and PCs October 4, technically adding a bunch of new characters, more maps, and a 5 versus 5 premise instead of a 4 versus 1 like the first game. This is in case of an update. We've already went through 2 betas so far in 2022, so there's not going to be a third one, and that is just pretty much all I have to talk about this one. Check it out, otherwise move on.
Now that's teamwork.
Time to learn some new tricks. Hey, chill out.
Hammer strike!
Do not worry, I will push it. Okay, other direction. I am good at pushing things.
Sojourn here.
Moving on, we have Solstice by Modus Games. Well, technically just a mix of Devil May Cry and Dark Souls, so basically it's a hack and slasher but a Souls-like. And what we get to play the role of a warrior, obviously, created by bonding souls. Guys, here's the trailer. We know this game is releasing September 20th this year, and with the aim to deliver a dark, grim aesthetic packed with secrets and different gameplay mechanics on top.
You are here with me.
I always will be.
As long as we are together, we're not going down. They wanted yet another monster. They shall have one.
I'm out here looking for something. Despite the world being in the state it is.
Valkyrie, heed my words. Ragnarok tears our world asunder. All we hold precious lies on the brink of annihilation.
Valkyrie Elysium, on the other hand, from a tad less than a month ago, and I've also mentioned this one recently by Square Enix, that describes it as a brand new story, but a spin-off of the Valkyrie profile from all the way back 23 years ago. The game is on its way to PCs, PlayStation 4 and 5. Here's the trailer. Game's due out September 29 this year.
Left for me in this world. I just want a chance to make things right.
My name is Christopher. I have protected this land and its people as my forefathers did before me. Very well. Then I pledge my loyalty as your inheritor until the very end.
You are a being of divine power, are you not? Please, would you hear my plea? My name is Taika. It was once my duty to watch over this land.
Wretched soul, by Odin's command, you shall be purified.
So this is one of the 4 gifts. If I had to guess, I'd say this was Gungnir.
Engrave it upon your soul. Divine assault! Nibelung Valesti!
Please allow me to conduct a small test of your metal.
There's a man in the facility. He's armed, and he's equipped with an experimental polymer glove. We have no chance.
Become a part of the collective and acquire true superpowers.
Moving on, we have the one rushing game of this list, Atomic Heart, which is probably the single most anticipated AAA game when it comes to post-apocalyptic open worlds, although set in the past and not the future, otherwise we'd be giving it to Stalker. An incredible game, so to speak, in almost every single aspect, specifically premise. Atomic Heart will now be released for PCs and consoles and due out in the final quarter of 2022 here.
Now, shut up! Why the hell should I believe you all?
We've got 30 seconds. Let's go.
30 seconds to what?
And then it's total Biap his dad, son. That's what.
Going on?
The robots are out of control. They're killing everyone.
We know who's behind this.
have to stop this nightmare now!
Humanity is doomed to eternal slavery. In 2 days, he will become unstoppable.
Do not believe him!
I don't even know who to believe anymore.
You've got 2 days, son.
Zach speaking.
Making progress, Zach?
And Geo. I can cut loose, right?
Within reason.
It's showtime!
Next up at number 16, it's the old Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII, a game that originally hit only the PSP console back in 2007, and technically a remastered version of that is on the way here, and now will run at 120 FPS, and will include updated 3D models, full new voiceovers, and new music arrangements as well. Check it out. Crisis Core Final Fantasy VII Reunion is on its way to the PlayStation 5 for Xbox consoles and PCs, not Switch, and due out possibly November this year.
Project G gave birth to the man we know as Genesis.
Project G.
Project Genesis.
Settle down. Zack the puppy. What do you know?
Shit, we're lapdogs!
Hello?
Heaven?
Not quite. It's a church.
By the way, what is your dream? To become first? Is it?
No, to become a hero.
Ah, good. Unattainable dreams.
Over here!
Sonic Frontiers, on the other hand, is now on its way to all platforms instead of a Nintendo Switch exclusive. The game's set to be released around holidays this year. This is a fully open world adventure, what actually Sega describes it as an open zone inspired experience. For those of you new, originally Sonic Frontiers was planned to be released last year, but then delayed in order to further polish the quality. Check it out, this is how the game will eventually look like. And last but not least, is for all of you Bandai Games fans, the One Piece Odyssey, which is the first iteration in the series after a long period to be an open world, semi-open world technically, action RPG, and technically has been in development since the beginning of 2020. One Piece Odyssey is set to release in about 3 months. From now we hear worst case scenario around holidays, and this is how it'll eventually look, if not better.